So the FitBit Charge 6 has been out for a little bit of time now, and I want to go and kind of compare it against the Apple Watch SE 2 and see which particular device is the better one for you. Now, the biggest thing I can definitely tell you is that when it comes down to both of these, I'm definitely a big fan of both of them, right? But the Apple Watch SE 2 is more of a smart watch, where the FitBit Charge 6 is more of like just a fitness tracker. They're both kind of different. They both have some shared, capability, but for the most part, the biggest difference here is that Apple Watches only work on iPhones, whereas a Fitbit Charge 6 can also work on iPhones and Androids. So that is actually a really nice thing to kind of think about. There's a little bit more capability on the Fitbit, but if you do want to go and pick up like a Fitbit or an Apple Watch that I would recommend buying this year, links will be down in the description below. You can get that from there, and you can help support the channel at the exact same time. Now, starting off with the outside of both these watches, the Fitbit Charge 6 came out a little bit of time ago, and you're basically just getting one design. You're just getting like a kind of like this like rectangular pill type of design. It's a very small display compared to a lot of other watches, and it's not really supposed to be like this like massively like powerful type of watch. It's supposed to be like a good experience for the most part, but it's not supposed to be like a, Apple Watch replacement. It's supposed to be a watch where you can like track your steps, you can see some stuff inside of it, and like that's kind of it. And that's exactly what you're getting here. Whereas on the Apple Watch, like the Apple Watch SE 2, this one is going to be like a proper like smartwatch that you can do a lot of things with. So that right there is also already like a pretty big difference. Because if you're wanting the watch that is going to be giving you a better experience here, definitely something like the Apple Watch SE 2, this one is going to be giving you a very solid experience from that side. And I think that right there is a very important thing to keep in mind. With the Apple Watch SE 2, this one is also going to be giving you two different sizes, so you can actually choose from the two different sizes that you can actually get. So I do think that in and of itself is also another really cool thing to kind of keep in mind there as well. Now, when it comes down to both, another very important thing to keep in mind is that both these watches, I think, do a really good job at kind of giving you a lot of capability, already, because even with the Fitbit Charge 6, you are still maintaining like a decent amount of capability. Like you're still able to go through and like get a lot of features inside of it. It still performs fairly well for the most part. There's not really like too many insane crazy things going on here, and I do think that is kind of a nice thing to keep in mind here with this type of watch. But with the Apple Watch SE 2, like I said before, this one is giving you way more capability when it comes down to it. This one is going to be able to go through and give you capability that the Apple Watch SE 2 is going to let you like check notifications. It's going to allow you to, track your workouts, I think a little bit more effectively than the Fitbit Charge 6. So I do think the Fitbit still does a good job, but I think the Apple Watch SE 2, especially from that side, does an overall better, job in my personal opinion. Also, I think a really important thing to keep in mind here is that because the Apple Watch SE 2, it's more of a smart watch, you'll be able to get more of your, information from that type of watch. And even if you're going on runs or you're going on workouts, you're actually going to be able to go through and use this type of watch for the most part for that type of capability. Like you're going to be able to go through and use this type of watch for running, and if you want to put music in this type of watch, there's also that type of experience there too. So you actually do have a lot of capability already built in inside of these types of watches, which is actually really nice. And I love actually having that type of capability because it really does make this type of device perform and feel that much better when it comes down to it. So personally for me, from that side alone, that's a really, really cool thing to basically have there. And I do like having a watch like this that does give me that type of capability. So I will definitely tell you in my personal opinion, when it comes down to both of these, the Fitbit, is probably the one that I'd recommend a vast majority of people to, kind of avoid. I think that type of watch does a good job, but the Apple Watch, does a much better job here. Like that's the one that I would probably recommend every single person to go and pick up at this point. Like that one makes a lot more sense to go and buy. It's a much better looking watch as well. So that's the one that I'd probably recommend more people to go and pick up. But with that being said, I still think there's a big reason why you could go and buy something like an Apple Watch, SE 2 and still get a pretty good time and a pretty good experience with it as well. But that's kind of how I see both these watches kind of holding up. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.